Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for the Celebrate Hop featuring Whimsy Stamp's Celebrate Word and Shadow Dies. I need to start out by saying the next stop in the hop is linked directly below, along with all the hop information. If you're hopping along, be sure to leave a comment at each stop for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to the Whimsy Stamps online shop. I have a quick look at the Celebrate Word and Shadow die set here. It's a lovely scripty font that's used on this set. It has two layering dies. There's one with stitching and one without. Now, the Happy Everything stamp set is great because it has several detail stamps and it's filled with multiple sentiments I can combine. I'll be using this stamp set to do some random stamping. So I've placed a piece of heavy white cardstock into my MISTI to get started. I'm using VersaFine Clair inks. You can use any inks you have available. I just love the bright colors and the coverage that these inks offer. I'm using the color Blue Belle, Green Oasis, Cheerful, and Summertime just to randomly stamp some of the balloons, the burst, and star from the Happy Everything stamp set. We'll go ahead and remove that from the MISTI, and I'm going to continue stamping to fill in more of the white space. I'm using Tulip Red, Purple Delight, and Warm Breeze inks, and a few more of those small little detail stamps from that Happy Everything stamp set. Now, once I'm happy with the background, we're going to be using the new mini slim tags. I'm using the largest tag from this, and we're going to do some partial die cutting. I want to create a card with this. I want you to see that this new die set is amazing, not just for tags, but it's so much fun to create cards that are shaped like tags. So you can use this on a gift bag, and then the recipient could take it and set it up on the mantle or wherever to display for that mandatory a week or however long people display their cards. So what I'm doing is I've laid the die down, I'm taking my cutting plate, and I'm only going to put that where I want to cut. So the one thing you always remember when partial die cutting is you want to apply pressure where you want to cut, and the places that you don't want to cut, you want to avoid applying pressure there. So I even have a smaller cutting plate that makes it so much easier because it's easier to maneuver around in your machine, even with a 6-inch wide machine. I'll have that extra little plate linked down below for you if you want to check it out. So once you have your stamped background cut out in that tag shape, you're going to also cut an extra piece out of just white cardstock, doing the same thing with that partial die cutting. Now, if you want to just cut the whole thing out and leave the hole in it, that's perfectly fine. So what you saw me do there was I took the white piece that I'm using for the back and I scored it at 1¼ inches with my scoreboard. I've added that crease there. I laid down some glue. I'm going to line these up, and this is creating the card. And once I have this lined up, I'm going to lay it flat, open it back up, and take my bone folder to that crease and give it a good press down with my bone folder. And then I'm going to let the card sit open and dry. That way I don't have to worry about if, there's any glue that may have seeped out somewhere. It's going to dry just like that, and we won't have any problems opening and closing it. So while that's drying, we're going to move on to our next size tag. So this new mini slimline tag comes with two tags, and then of course it comes with some other little dies that are smaller tags. One of them's great for using for your sentiments, and it also comes with the little round reinforcements that go in that around that hole there. So what I did was I just went ahead and cut that out with black cardstock, and then I used the primitive shaker die set, the star from that set, and I went ahead and cut out a star out of that black tag, as you can see laying there. So what we're going to do is create a shaker to go onto our tag card that we're creating. So the first thing that I'm going to do is on the back side of my tag, I'm going to lay down a piece of acetate to close off that star window. And then I'm going to come in with my 1/8 of an inch wide foam strips, and I'm going to lay down one layer of this foam adhesive around the edge of my star, making sure that each time I lay down a piece of that foam, it's touching the piece that was laid down before it. You don't want any gaps in your foam when you're doing this. Now, I chose to do only one layer of foam because I am using some really small beads, or they're even smaller than the seed beads that you see in stores. These are so fine and so tiny, and I'm going to fill this up, pretty much completely fill it up. And then I'm going to cover the back of it with vellum. So you see a lot of people, they'll use more acetate to cover up, but I find that vellum's a little bit cheaper than acetate. And I just go ahead and take a piece of vellum, cut it down to fit the back of my shaker, and then cover it up. And it softens the look through that window if you have a stamped background, but you can still see that stamped background through it. And like I said, I mostly do it because it seems to me it's a little bit cheaper than acetate is. So we'll go ahead and cover this up. Now you could build this from the card base up if you wanted to. You could just take that negative or the cutout star and use some temporary tape, place it where you want it on your card base, and then lay your foam down around that. Remove that star and put your beads in, and then cover it up with your tag. So I went ahead and I added some green and white ribbon and some hemp twine to the top of my tag. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to the back of it and go ahead and place it on my mini slimline tag card. Then I'm going to take my Celebrate word die and I'm going to cut it out 3 times out of a green cardstock. And we're going to layer those up onto a white layer. So I'm only doing one layer, and it's the layer that's not stitched. And then I'm going to run that down the side of my tag for my Celebrate gift tag. So I love this Celebrate word. It's such a beautiful font. And then pair it with that fun Happy Everything stamp set and the new mini slim tags die set. I'm in love with this tag set. I love making cards and having that coordinating tag to go with it. I just think it's a lot of fun. And there's so many things that you can do with tag set. I know I see a lot of projects online where people take tags and they make these great like little flip through books and different things like that. So that's going to wrap us up. Don't forget, if you want a chance to win that $25 gift certificate, you need to leave a comment at each stop along the hop. We really do appreciate you joining us. We hope you enjoy the inspiration that we're sharing here with you. And until next time, please take care.